If you look at the security protocols most of these modern messaging apps follow, you'll see something called end-to-end encryption. It's supposed to be one of the safest data transferring methods between two endpoints. But what exactly is end-to-end encryption? Is it really as safe as people call out to be, and how the hell does it work? In this video, we're going to talk about end-to-end encryption and explain to you how you can leverage it to the fullest. End-to-end encryption is exactly what it sounds like. When a data point leaves your terminal, it gets encrypted, and when it reaches the receiver, it gets decrypted. Now this happens using a combination of a public key and a private key. The public key is basically a large numerical value which is used to encrypt or decrypt data for that matter. You can access it or you can generate it using a software key generator, or it's generally assigned by an undersigned authority. A private key is only accessible by the keys generator and is used in conjunction with the public key to decrypt data. Public key and the private keys are always numerically linked. So step one is the data leaving your phone or your computer for that matter. So for example, if you send a hello, it gets converted into a random string of alphanumeric character which is called a ciphertext. In step 2, this ciphertext travels across the internet, going through servers and other data points that it happens to pass through. Even if an attacker tries to snoop this data in between, all they'll get is a string of gibberish. Step 3 is when this ciphertext reaches the receiver and then gets decrypted into a readable message that you first sent in step 1 using the private key on the receiver's end and the public key between the receiver and the sender. As I mentioned before, end-to-end encryption uses both public and private keys to keep your data safe. Before communication begins, the sender and the receiver share their public keys. The sender then encrypts the message using the receiver's public key, and then the receiver can decrypt the data using a combination of the public key shared before and the private key that the receiver has. Now this approach has a lot of advantages. It's often used in financial transactions and it can give users the power over who can see their data or who cannot. And even if an attacker gets access to a server that your data is passing through, all they get to see is gibberish. Using apps like Signal and Telegram, you can leverage the power of end-to-end encryption in your everyday communications, whether they're personal, professional, financial, or whatsoever. However, keep in mind to not fall for any service that throws around cool cybersecurity jargon to lure users in. Now, just like everything else in the world, end-to-end encryption is not exactly foolproof. It's susceptible to man-in-the-middle attacks where an attacker can change the public key altogether and have messages delivered to themselves instead of the receiver. Endpoint security also plays a huge part here. If either the sender or the receiver gets compromised, end-to-end encryption can't really do anything. There are also encryption backdoors where the encryption is weakened deliberately so that organizations or governments can access your data. Between November 2018 and May 2019, China tried luring in several senior Tibetan officials by sending them malicious links over WhatsApp with the attackers posing as NGOs. These links either opened OAuth phishing pages or installed spyware on their phones, and in some cases even exploited browser vulnerabilities. In a similar incident in May 2019, WhatsApp was diagnosed with a vulnerability called NGO Pegasus, which allowed an attacker to install a spyware on your phone by just giving you a WhatsApp call, and you didn't even have to pick the call up. WhatsApp even sent out a special message to 1,400 of its customers telling them that their phones might have been breached. If you liked the video, consider subscribing, press the bell icon, and tell us in the comments below if you've had such an experience before. If you want to know more about cybersecurity or tech in general, visit our website Candid.Technology, follow us on social media at Candid.Technology, and we'll see you in the next video.